the Spoiled Kings, meddling diamond rings.
Football.
Well, it was a rocky season for the guys from the Rocky Mountain State. After a 10-4 and Pac-12 South winning team in 2016, last year's Buffalo team, it was not pretty. Offensively, they just weren't the same, and defensively, we knew it was going to be a struggle, and it was. Having to replace a lot of starters and dealing with injuries, Colorado dropped, and they dropped big time to a 5-7 record and bowl ineligible. Now, Mike McIntyre has been there as head coach for 5 years, and if you take away that 2016 season for the Buffaloes, not much success at all. 4 of those 5 seasons have been losing ones, so you bet that McIntyre, this is a hot seat season for him, because if Colorado doesn't at least have a winning season, if they don't get to a bowl game, you have a feeling that this year could be the final one for Mike McIntyre. And what does he have to look forward to? Well, at least offensively, he has the quarterback returning. Steven Montez, 18 TDs, 9 interceptions in 2017, was also the team's second leading rusher. So there's a positive. Now, some other things to look at if you're a Buffaloes fan. You're going to get a new co-offensive coordinator and a familiar name, Darren Chiaverini, who was a player, at Colorado. I think he won the All-Heart Award back during his playing days. And, they're going to need Chiaverini's heart and his brains to get this Colorado offense back on track. They only averaged 26 points a game a year ago. They can move the ball. I mean, they were top 50 in the country in total offense, but when it came to scoring points, they were one of the worst teams in the country. So Chiaverini will be calling the plays. Clayton Adams, they're also going to retain to be the other offensive coordinator. Darren is replacing Brian Lindgren, who took a lateral move, offensive coordinator now at Oregon State. Huge issue for Colorado entering this year. There's just not a lot of experience around Montez. As far as skilled players, Phillip Lindsay, he was the bulk of that running attack. Over 1,400 yards a year ago, about 3,700 rushing yards in his career, over 1,000 receiving career yards. He's gone, and you're going to miss him big time. So Travon McMillon has big shoes to fill. They're getting him from Virginia Tech. McMillon in 2015 rushed for over 1,000 yards, but the last 2 years didn't play as much under Justin Fuente. So McMillon, he'll finish his career in Boulder, and Bo Bisharat, primarily a special teams player in his career, he'll get more carries in the backfield. So receiver-wise, top 3 are gone. Top 3 receivers are gone from a year ago. They combined for over 150 catches. That hurts. So Jay McIntyre will see more of a role as far as receiver, 28 receptions a year ago, and you also have Juwan Winfrey back. But receiver-wise, a big-time load of production has departed. Offensive line-wise, the same thing. Now, this offensive line was not good last year, at least as far as pass protection. They gave up 39 sacks a year ago, and you only have 2 of the 5 coming back. That does include Aaron Hagler, left tackle, and at the guard position, he can also play center in Tim Lynett. We'll see if he's fully ready to go after a recent Achilles tear. The Buffaloes in 2017 didn't just see struggles offensively. We documented it earlier that defense had their share of woes as well, only forcing 14 turnovers and only making 19 quarterback sacks. Last year's Buffalo team was 110th in the country defensively in total D, allowing 450 yards per game. And if you're looking for a silver lining, maybe it's the fact that most of the experience comes back. You have a lot of seniors coming back. In fact, 5 of the 6 returning starters for the Buffaloes are upperclassmen, and that does include Javier Edwards, all 350 pounds of him, so he can make an impact. His senior year is now, and at defensive end, you have Chris Mulumba, who didn't start playing football until he was 19 years old, believe it or not, and now he has reached his senior year. So, amazing story to Chris Mulumba, a guy, like I said, hadn't been playing football for very long, but picked up the game rather quickly. I do like the linebackers for Colorado. They're our bright spot. Drew Lewis, he can do anything that you ask him to do. Over 100 tackles a year ago, 2 sacks. You have Drew Lewis at one inside linebacker and Rick Gamboa at the other. He had 90 stops. So there's some production for you. Colorado will primarily play a 3-3-5 defense, or then go with the 3-4 by using the 5th defensive back in the buff position. In terms of the secondary, they are going to miss Isaiah Oliver, a terrific corner who had plenty of speed, plenty of athleticism, decided to leave a year early and go to the NFL. Can't blame him. Ended up being a second-round pick by the Atlanta Falcons. But you do return 2 other secondary players at strong safety. Evan Worthington, 87 tackles in 2017. And you have Trey Udapia, who last year started as a freshman. You'll have him at one corner spot. Special teams can feel pretty good about this area because you have lots of experience. Last year, field goal-wise, out of 21 field goal attempts, they only missed 4. And they do return Alex Kinney at the punter position. He's been punting since his freshman year, now a 4th-year starter, recently averaged 43 yards per boot. Since I don't think the Buffaloes have a chance in hell of winning the Pac-12 South, I'm going to highlight the 5 games which I think are the most winnable for CU. That will include the season opener in Denver against Colorado State. I don't think the Rams are very good either. 2 weeks later, should be a W against FCS opponent New Hampshire. And then early October, Arizona State with new head coach Herman Edwards. So Colorado will probably be favored in that game. Later in the month, could be favored against Oregon State. You also get that at Folsom Field. And then a matchup 2 weeks later, November 10th, also at home against Washington State. And by the way, there's more good news for Colorado. They don't play Stanford or Oregon this year, but you do have to play at Nebraska second week of the year. Don't see a W there. So if the Buffaloes can win those 5 games that you see on the screen, plus pull off an upset maybe against a UCLA or against a Cal at the end of the year, then there you have it. There are your 6 wins, and I think McIntyre can feel a little bit better about his job security. I personally don't think that's going to happen. Offensively, way too much inexperience. And the defense, even though they'll probably be better, they're going to be on the field a lot longer than the offense, and that will take its toll as the season goes along. I've got the Buffaloes finishing 5th in the Pac-12 South. Do I think this will be Mike McIntyre's final year at Colorado? Well, with this outlook, possibly. See you next time.